That's it? That's the last episode? That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles! What a rip!
So what's going on, guys? It's Brandon here.
And it's Jamie here.
And today we're actually going to be going through the top 10 best and worst tracks in Mario Kart World. Kick us off, Jam.
We're finally doing a Mario Kart World video, Brandon.
It's great, I know, we're back, guys.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
Now, a couple of clarifications just before we get in. What we count by a track is everything that's playable in the GP. So in the Grand Prix mode, every selection there is a track. So there are 2 Peach Stadiums, there are 2 Crown Cities.
Yeah.
We are not talking about the intermissions though, only the track themselves.
No, we do not care about the intermissions leading up to the courses, just the one lap that you get of the course. Or in the case of everything in the first slot of every Grand Prix Cup, the 3 laps of that.
Yep, and I will be discussing the worst while Brandon discusses the best.
Makes sense?
Cool. Kicking us off with number 10 for the worst. Choco Mountain. Listen. Did we really need this? We just had this. Like, is there not any other tracks you can think of that would be better than this? This isn't even Choco Mountain. It may as well just be a new track. Right? I dislike that part in the middle where you purposely get slowed down by mud. Right? Despite this already being a way easier rendition than the previous ones. The entire soul of Choco Mountain has now gone, right? No more falling off and being sent an entire lap behind, or dodging falling boulders. It's just easy. I see what they tried to do, but no, we didn't need this.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most fun. I mean, I won't agree with you on all of that, but of course, you are looking at the worst. While I'm looking at the best, with number 10, Dino Jungle. Genuinely, absolutely adore the Jurassic World remake here. I think that it is such a modernized version of Dino Jungle. It was the correct way to move forward, and it's a nice little play on words of Jurassic World and Mario Kart World. I see what you did there, Nintendo. Very good. I know you're not necessarily a fan of this one, Jam, but I think even you can sort of see that this is a good remake.
I do quite love the blower. I think it is a very good track in Mario Kart World. So yeah, I'm happy with it being here. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, but leaving the good and onto the bad. Number 9 worst track in the game, and this is a painful one for me, but Peach Beach. I have always been a huge Peach Beach defender. Right, and the first 2 laps of this track are amazing. I've never been a fan of changing lap tracks, but I can excuse this one. Alright, it's great, the first 2 laps are great. Let's go to lap 3. It's straight lines on water.
Step 1, Primal Scream.
What's that?
It's when you channel all your rage into a violent vocal release, like this.
Alright, and trust me, water sections are going to become a very recurring theme for my list. Water controls are just not fun in this game. This track is also incredibly easy for such a late game track. Just, why did we need straight lines? It's just, where's the track? I want to rate on Peach Beach, please.
Yeah, exactly. It is completely it almost ruins the vibe entirely. Like, thank God lap 1 and 2 exist, but 3 is just garbage. Awful. But my number 9 on the best tracks is DK Pass. Now, this is coming out of nowhere from me, well, especially me, because again, I have in the past been one of the DK Pass haters, right? I went from a hater to a defender, and I'll tell you one person who was more than happy to win that war was Jam, weren't you? You were happy to hear that I enjoy this track.
Who have been around for quite a while on the channel know that I defend DK Pass to the death. I love that track, and seeing its rendition in Mario Kart World just makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's so good. It is genuinely such a good rendition. The shortcut on the wall in the tree section is mad. It's just great to have it back. and it actually feels like a ski resort now for me. I think it is so much better than it is on DS or even 7, or even in Tour. But again, low bar there.
I'm going to be talking about another track which got better, but still couldn't save it, and that's Sky High Sunday. Listen, what they've done is polished a turd. Okay, it was awful in 8 Deluxe. It's still incredibly boring. It's still an oval, right? It's still just basically 2 straight lines with a corner. I appreciate the shortcut potential now, yeah, but it's still incredibly boring. It's just a nothing track. It's still just an oval. Awful stuff.
Fair criticism for Sky High. I do quite enjoy the new Sky High. I think it's obviously way better than the 8 Deluxe version or even the Tour version. And like, I just like the final turn. That cut is incredible. Like, especially even like the difficult version of the cut as well. Good fun. And like the rails everywhere make Sky High Sunday like so much better to drive instead of just clipping through them. But moving on to number 8 on the best list is Wario Stadium. Yep. It only took them 13 years, but we finally actually have a reimagining of this track that it actually deserves. Like, yeah, okay, it's shorter. We've lost a lot of the track. And, like, maybe we could have done with a bit more to the track. Maybe less laps, like 2 laps, but a bit longer. But honestly, I think as it is, and as it stands with all the rails and all the cuts and the shortcut potential on this track, incredible, right? Such a glow up, easily one of the best in this game. And I think it was well worth the 30-year wait, potentially.
Nice, but I'll tell you what wasn't worth the wait. Number 7, Dandelion Dance. Oh, water controls are back again. Okay, how to... When a track doesn't make use of its gimmick, it's not great design. And frankly, it's faster on Dandelion Depths to avoid the rails. It's faster to avoid the shortcuts, avoid going on the walls. In fact, did you know on a certain corner, it's actually faster to just not drift around it. It's faster to not play this track off the Mario Kart World track. It's incredibly anti-design, which is a shame because it looks quite nice, and I do like sections of this. I did actually defend this track a little bit too against Brandon, but I can't defend all of this when it does such a poor job at realising what it's meant to.
That's fair. I mean, for me, with Dandelion Depths, I despise the track. It is the track I have had to retry the least because the CPUs are cracked at it for no reason. And there'd be so many times where a knockout tour run is ended or a Grand Prix is ended just because of one CPU passing me at the end because they take shortcuts now. And it was just a load of bullshit. So playing it over and over again and it being as unfun as it actually is didn't help. So that's why it's so low. But on the flip side, 7 best tracks is Peach Stadium. Specifically the Special Cup variant though. And this, for me, and possibly Jam, right, is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, circuit track we've ever been given. Right? It uses verticality so well, and the corners aren't like stupid, but they have some like technical elements to them. Like, yeah, okay, there's not tons of obstacles, but it's a circuit track, so there doesn't have to be. It knows what it is, and being the track that's the lead up to a track like Rainbow Road, it sets it up well. So it works where it is.
Yeah. There's one common question that we ask ourselves as designers, right? And that's the simple question of what makes it fun. What makes this fun to play? And with Peach Stadium, you are constantly drifting around corners, weaving through pipes. It's an incredibly fun track to play. Anyway, but I'll tell you what isn't a fun track to play though, Brandon. My number 6, and that's DK Spaceport. I know we're going to get some flack, because I know the community's wind up quite liking this one. But this is a Fall Guys map, man. What is this? It's a cool reference. I get it, it's a reference to Donkey Kong. Yeah, cool. But this isn't a cohesive track. It's lines.
No.
It's straight lines. Right? And with
Like,
all
yeah,
of
there's
these
jumps.
levels, by the way, it's faster to not interact with the gimmick of the level, apart from the rail grinding one. It's avidly faster
Literally.
to not go on the walls. Right? It's avidly faster to not start jumping over the barrels. It's faster to not play this like Donkey Kong. That's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I get it, all cool music. So what? It's not fun to play.
It, like you said earlier, it's a Fall Guys map. This is just fan service for the level. It's not fun.
Exactly.
And like, I'm sorry, but looking down at the lap counter when you first play that track for the first time, and you see 8 laps, you think, what? At first, right, I got scared and thought that it wasn't broken up into sections, and then I had to do that line bollocks 8 times.
Oh god.
I nearly had a fit. I was like, what am I playing?
I wouldn't wish
But
that on
no.
my worst enemy.
Thankfully, it was only just the 8 sections, right? But that still doesn't excuse it, because I still have to drive 8 lines. Not fun, Nintendo. However, one track that does utilise gimmicks very well is number 6, Whistle Stop Summit. But yeah, so for Whistle Stop Summit, right, this track utilises so much of what the game has to offer. One of the biggest new things in this game are rails. And what does a train drive on? Rails. It just fits so perfectly, right? To have a track that's based entirely around trains, and then to have rails as one of the gimmicks in the game. It's a match made in heaven, and it utilises them so well. And like even the world record uses the rails, so it's perfect. It does exactly what it needs to.
Honestly, it is one of my favourite tracks in the game, if not potentially my favourite. It's so fun.
fair.
It's so fun to play.
And honestly, yeah, I mean, who doesn't love trains? So
Some of
there
the
you go.
shortcuts you can pull off as well.
Yeah.
I believe we're on our 5th worst, and this is a happy day for me, guys. A very, very, very happy day for me. Because at number 5 worst, we've got Desert Hills. Oh, what to say about Desert Hills? I already hated this track, and somehow it got worse. Even Brandon couldn't defend this one anymore. Right,
No,
we were
I'm
discussing
sorry,
our
guys.
lists. Right, we were
I
discussing our
cannot-
lists, right? And Brandon could not sit there and go, but I like Desert Hills. He goes, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I had to concede. I'm sorry, but it's just not good anymore. They took away exactly why it was good.
I've got a question for you all, and leave your answer in the comments. Where are the Desert Hills in Desert Hills? They're gone. They've been bombed down. Where are they? Where's the grind rails? Where's the wall rides? Where's the gimmicks? It's just a desert track. It's a boring desert track. Like, you look what comes after it, Shy Guy Bazaar. That's infinitely better. That's so cool. Where's the Pokies, the Fire Snakes, Little Pyramid, Angry Sun? It's all gone. It's dead. It's just a desert track. Awful.
It's one thing I probably won't forgive Nintendo for, but then again, Desert Hills has had its time, and I'd be happy to never see it again. To be fair, that is an unfortunate fate for Desert Hills. However, what isn't an unfortunate fate was finally getting number 5, Toad's Factory. Honestly, right, we all saw this coming. Like, let's be real. Nintendo were always going to bring Toad's Factory back, and anybody saying, oh, we're never getting Toad's Factory back, we're never going to see it again, you're just not looking at the writing on the wall. Toad's Factory was, like, if you have all of your bangers in one game as a retro selection, then there's nothing left for future games. So, Toad's Factory took one for the team for so long, so that we could have it now. And I think that makes perfect sense. And on top of that, yeah, okay, there's a few things about this map that's been castrated. Like, where's the lake gone? It doesn't exactly feel like the distance has been covered correctly. The track feels a lot smaller. The ramp at the end is very, very small now. However, there's a lot that this track does, in addition to it, that kind of fixes those problems. First of all, much like Mario Kart Wii, this track, or just this game, doesn't really benefit when you're in the air. So the ramp at the end, being smaller, is fine. The lake cut is still kind of there in a way, it's just now mud. You shroom over it, that's part of the record. And to top it all off, you've got the girder shortcut when you come out of the red section. So Toad's Factory is still here, but there's just a few nitpicky things about it that kind of keeps it out of the top 3. Because otherwise, like, if they brought it back with everything, this would have been top 3 easily. But it's missing a couple things. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. And talking of missing a couple of things, I have a question for our number 4 worst, Starview Peak. Where's the track? What's going on? This is boring. It's like they took part of Ice Ice Outpost, as you can see by the colours, right? And then added some water in, all very, very good. And that's it. Okay, if you don't happen to get Kamek spawn in, right, which is not likely, you're not going to be doing anything for the duration of this track. It's just a wide road. It's boring. It's just... And by the way, you lose points as well for being the first track to introduce water controls. And the music is just flat out annoying as well. I see people online going, oh, but it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at the track. It's beautiful. I hope it melts. It's terrible. Awful.
Oh.
Anyway, go on, brother.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, moving on to the best number 4. And like, okay, I'll level with you guys. I wanted it to be a lot higher, but again, I can't, like, I couldn't have everything. Like, I'm defending some things while bigging other things up. And obviously Jam's doing the same. But number 4 is Airship Fortress. What a track. For me, that remake is, like, the best remake I've ever seen. Because, like, its original form, for me, is perfection. Right? Solid track. Its remake in 7 is a little butchered with the glider. And its Tour remake is a lot butchered because it's Tour. The track did not have any good remakes. This is actually the track's first good remake. Which is wild to me, because that track came out the better part of 20 years ago. So, took them long enough, I suppose. But honestly, all they've done is add more to a great thing. They've added rails to the track. The track is so cool now, on top of already being awesome. So, honestly, I'm still annoyed that it's not higher than 4. But, again, like I've said, I can't have everything.
Yeah,
so,
objectively, it's not better than some of the tracks coming up.
Yeah, and that's fair.
But,
anyway, move on.
Let's move on to something that is really great. Number 3 worst, Cheap Cheap Fools. Oh, did I say great? Sorry, I meant fish. Who playtested this? It's Finn. The entire track is just Finn. The only thing more annoying than water controls is water controls that book you into a wall. Right? I know you might say, oh, get good, right? It's just not fun. Right? I never liked water controls before, but they're worse now. Right? And that last corner, who designed this? This is awful.
I never thought I would see, you know, the rapid section?
Yeah.
Right? That U-turn that leads you into, like, the jumps?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see a U-turn sharper than the one in Shy Guy Bazaar.
And somehow, there is.
What the hell?
Like,
At least the ones on Peach Beach are wide.
yeah. But this is just like, it's claustrophobic. Who plays this? This is not suited for 24 races.
Not
Not
even
at all.
slightly.
Not even
This
all.
must have been the first track they made, surely.
Must have been, surely. Oh my god, brother.
So, our bronze medalist between me and Jam for Mario Kart World is Bowser's Castle. I mean, where to start with this? This track is so high octane that I'm convinced that 200cc is going to feel like 400cc. That entire third sector, right, is at maximum boost. So much so that using a mushroom is basically pointless. But if that gets ramped up with 200cc, if that ever gets added, which, come on, it will, then we're not going to be able to control it. It's insane. But I love that. They really said, yeah, fuck it, speed. But then outside of that, you've got really cool rail shortcuts, which then evolved into a wall shortcut, which then evolved into some crazy gap cut. And then, I mean, this is a Bowser's Castle that has clearly taken the industrial route, much like the castles in Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yeah.
In fact, if you recall back to my Tale of Two Bowser Castles video, I said that they were going to go either way with it. They were either going to base it more on the movie and have it be more lava and stone, or they were going to go more with Wonder and have it be more industrial and metal. And they went with that.
Yeah. Honestly, I love how
Life imitates art.
But
Insane.
what isn't so great is number 2, Salty Speedway. Look at this section here. Look at this section, right, which is tiny. How are 24 people even going to get through this? Right? You're just racing on a really thin, tiny canal. No one enjoys this. It's not Venice, though, is it? Because you're smacking into a wall every 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
not fun.
the only thing I have to say about this track is someone call a fucking plumber. It's terrible.
Literally. In fact, I'll say this now. With this track, the skill ceiling is so high, to avoid the water, you have to be good at the game.
Yeah, you're hopping over the water. It's like they knew that the water controls were terrible, so they introduced a way to just completely skip it. Like you're playing hopscotch. It's terrible.
This is mad. This is insane. Anyway, let's move on to something a bit more positive that actually utilises shortcuts that do look cool. Number 2, our silver medalist, Great Question Block Ruins. Now, from the trailers, I thought, okay, that's going to be like an alright track. It's not going to be like top worthy. And then I played it. And I was like, oh my god. They have taken the floating islands temple theme that they do not use very often, right? Barely at all, actually. If we're just if we're talking temple, that's like what, DK Jungle? But if we're talking floating islands, barely, right? So, like, that's unique. That's already points in its favour. And then the track's riddled with shortcuts. Hell yeah! Multiple options, so you can avoid the chaos of 24 players, which benefits 24 players. And the shortcuts like mad, so if you're good at the game, or you're good at the track, you know your way around the course. It's insane. Like, it's technical as fuck. It is so well put together. Props to Nintendo for this one. However, this next one that Jam is about to talk about, not props to Nintendo.
You know what? I was sat here getting ready to make a composed argument to the viewers, alright? As to why this track is so bad. Do you know what? I don't even need to make a composed, rational... Fuck you, Nintendo. 80 Great British quid for this! What is that? Alright, if you're unaware, by the way, this is actually Peach Stadium, right? This is number 1, by the way. Worst track, Peach Stadium in the Shell Cup. Right.
Yeah, which is why I specified special earlier, guys.
Now, a lot of you might be confused, going, oh, but, you know, when you do the time trials, you don't play this version of the track. It's clearly not Peach Stadium. It is. It is. You can actually play this version of the track. In battle mode. Who made the idea of racing around a battle mode track? This is horrendous. This is terrible. By the way, there are no shortcuts on this track. You are racing in straight lines. What is this? This is lazy, right? This is an 80 quid game, Nintendo, right? And I personally think that the game is worth 80 quid, okay? That's my personal view. But it's a game that couldn't even give you 32 tracks. For 80 quid, alright, and a Switch 2, you can't give us 32 tracks. This is terrible. Where is the track? This is just filler. You couldn't have brought anything else back. This is an absolute sorry excuse for a track. It's a travesty. This is terrible.
It is genuinely, right, and this is seriously like one of the things that I just find so infuriating about Nintendo, right? They can make some actual dog shit tracks, right? Like, seriously. Like, on another level bad. But, like, my least favourite track of all time is Big Blue. Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, good job, Big Blue. You got saved by the fact that, oh my god, Nintendo decided to make 3 rectangles.
Alright, and you know what? I'm gonna say it, right? You're never gonna hear me say this again. Right, for long time viewers, right? I apologise to Baby Park. I apologise to Baby Park for this. Because you know what? I always used to think that Baby Park was the most unforgivable, alright, lazy track design of all time. Baby Park looks like Airship Fortress compared to this crap. What is this? By the way, we've spent far longer talking about it than just to actually complete the track. This is crap. Yep. This is absolute crap.
Like, I don't understand how Nintendo's 20-second drive around a train station in a terminal of a stadium is even remotely considered to be racetrack material. Not even just, like, specific cup material. Racetrack material.
Hey, Brandon, cheer us up, will you?
I will cheer us up. Our best track, and I mean, you can't really keep track in this kind of video, but maybe your favourite track is still around, but our number one pick, personally, is Dry Bones Burnout. What a track. It uses its theming so well. It goes for a Day of the Dead theme, right, which already worked incredibly with Dry Bones, right? He is a skeleton, it is perfect, right? And then you hear the background music, and you think, oh my god, it's like a Latin American vibe to it. That is incredible, right? All the pieces are fitting together so far well, right? And then you play the track, and it's tricky. It's got a difficult vibe to it, and when you don't feel confused when you drive it. Like, it's actually a cohesive track while having multiple paths, glider sections, lava, rails. It's got it all. And you can wall ride as much as you want, trick as much as you want. This track might be the epitome of this game's mechanics. Minus water, of course, because water is dog shit.
But you can actually use water mechanics if you mushroom over the lava.
Exactly.
This track is incredible.
Die, but...
How did we go from the worst excuse for a track in a racing game ever to this? This is incredible, Nintendo. This is good. This is brilliant. Right,
I
this
actually
is an
can't
80-quid
believe
track.
Like this track, right, probably goes in my top 20 of all time. I'm serious. But then Peach Stadium Shell variant, bottom of the list. Straight up bottom of the list.
Yeah, it's
What is
incredible.
that?
It does prove that Nintendo is still capable of really, really good design. It proves that they're capable of pulling off amazing tracks. Right, this is great. This is a great track. You've got options to play. Right, it's difficult enough, but it's cool. It's unique. The music's amazing. This is great. This is great. This is great. I love this.
Yeah, and there's no amount of times we can say great to really show how much we actually like this track. It is incredible. Do this again, Nintendo, multiple times. For if you ever do DLC, which you will, you know you will. But do that. Not Peach Stadium Shell. do that. Dry Bones Burnout. Not the same track, but different tracks, different themes, but that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we have come to the end of both of these lists, guys. And it's been incredible. We are back. Hi. We will try not to vanish again, hopefully.
Yeah. I think we should be able to make some more stuff now for you guys, which is great.
Yeah, it's the summertime. We've got some time.
Yeah, we've
But
finally
yeah.
got some time.
Yeah. So, guys, that has been it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Sort of like let us know what you think. Tell us your opinion. We might be chatting absolute shit. You might think that maybe Peach Stadium Shell is incredible. I'd love to see a comment about that one. I think that would be interesting. But yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.
See you guys.